saying, hi YouTube, welcome on in. Hey, I appreciate all of you coming on by the way, make sure to leave a comment. It helps the algorithm a ton, even if it's just a heart. Or why don't you at this point in time, let me know if you guys think that like all of these characters do deserve more love, but more of an analysis on each one, right? This is my overall regard. The more that I think about these characters, the more that it makes me wonder, like, how much deeper does this show go, right? Because ultimately it feels as though this season it's just fleshing out every character, right? And so far we've touched on Atsushi, we've touched a little bit on Dazai, we've touched on Enogawa, my fave, we've touched on the siblings, you know. We're kind of touching on a little bit like of everyone and anyone here and establishing who this family is, which is amazing. Like, this is why I love this show, right? Because it's touching on everyone. But my question is, when are we gonna touch on Kunikita? When are we gonna get like a deeper dive into either him or the president? That's what I'm curious about. Like, when are we actually going to go through and like have a deeper understanding of the character? Because right now we know their relationship with Dazai, right? That is a strong foundation, and then their establishment in the agency itself. And I think that that's wonderful. That is amazing that we're getting to go and see that, right? But for Dazai, we're getting these layers like that are slowly peeling off. For Kunikita, it's like it's being established, but we haven't really gone in deep into like what makes him, right? Exactly. It's like meeting every character individually. I mean, we've even met TB Man, at this point in time. And we've had a little bit of an interaction with TB Man. I'm most excited to meet Ginger. I really want to know what Ginger's about. Aside from TB Man, Ginger is the one that just like calls out to me, and it makes me wonder a little bit about that. But I want y'all to get ready. I want y'all to get your notebooks out, get your little whiteboards out, because we're gonna work a little bit with Kunikita. Okay, are y'all ready for this? Okay, Ginger, TB Man, you get your all right. Everyone got their notes out. Perfect. Why don't we start off by talking a little bit about this? This is Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Okay. Where is Kunikita at in Maslow's hierarchy of needs? This is not rhetorical. This is me and you trying to figure this out together, chat. Where is Kunikita at in this? I mean, he has employment. He has resources, right? He has health. Where's he at? I would dare say, based on the comments he said in the previous episode, I would dare say either purple or blue. Based on the comments of like, we have to think about like how we act, like, in the past couple of episodes, like, don't bring shame onto yourself. These different aspects. For me, it makes me believe that like the outside perspectives matter for him. Can he problem solve? Can he go through all of this? Probably yes, right? But at this point in time, it makes me wonder, like, how much he feels like maintaining the agency's reputation is important to him, and if that ties into him as an individual. That's what it makes me wonder. And if that is the case, then that is purple. Because you're trying to go ahead and maintain the respect or confidence of others, in valuing it, but not necessarily having full control over that. Surprisingly, he's a lot more stable than others, right? Exactly. So maybe purple, blue. That's what I'm saying is he can definitely probably creatively problem solve and whatnot, and do a lot of these things. Right. Everyone else seems so unstable that he just seems relatively stable. Oh yeah, but is he though? Is he? Because that brings up the next question. We're going through this. Boom. What is his attachment style? What is his attachment style, chat? Is he secure? Is he anxious? Is he avoidant dismissive? Is he fearful? From what I've seen, is he usually tries to go ahead and downplay the importance of relationships. You know, at least from what I'm seeing is I've seen like I've seen the way that he's like with Desai, for example. Is he very secure in that relationship, or does he dismiss it? But even though it's dismissive, we know for a fact that like they get along. I would say it's avoidant dismissive on my end from what I've seen. You know, in terms of others, right? Like you go do what you want, not necessarily communicating properly, right? Or communicating his needs appropriately. Um, he's kind of a tsundere. Yeah. So for now, I'm gonna put avoidant dismissive. Now, can he become vulnerable with treating individuals? Absolutely, right? Absolutely. But for the most part, from what I'm seeing, that is avoidant dismissive, which is interesting because then it means that it's harder for him to be in the blue if he is dismissive in here. Does that make sense? It is harder for someone to be morally thinking about like they can be, absolutely they can be, but it's a lot harder for people to stay in the blue if they're not secure in their relationships and in themselves, because a big aspect of dismissive individuals at times comes from, and I'll showcase this. Where do you think that this comes from? What do we see for him? What is he trying to show off? Yeah, sage elitist. Where knowledge is a big foreground there. What else? Ruler tyrant. It could be multiple ones, y'all. It doesn't just have to be one. You can be wearing multiple ones, right? Caregiver slave. There you go. That's another one. Mm-hmm. Where service is at play. What else? Ruler tyrant. You think? Sure, we can throw that in there. I would actually say innovation. Okay, what else? I would actually say creator and destroyer. Or innovation is there. What else, chat? Is that it? Everyman follower with belonging? Sure. With belonging. Perfect. All right, we continue. So now that we've made a giant list of them, are you guys seeing why it's harder to stay in the blue? We've literally just come together and we made a giant list of good mask and shadow mask that like they're trying to wear while being dismissive, which makes it a little bit harder for someone to continuously stay in the blue. Okay, we continue. Next one. Here we go. What defense mechanisms have we seen him use? What defense mechanisms have we seen him use, chat? Has he projected, displaced, sublimated? I would say displacement, right? Even and sublimation at times, sure. Especially with a lot of the writing that he has in episode 1. You know, what else? Displacement, okay. Displacement / sublimation. What else? We all have defense mechanisms, by the way. We all have display. We all have these aspects. What about this? Like, where are you going? You're going for a walk? Oh, okay. I'll see you later. But deep down inside him, I want to tell you to stay in here. Does he have two opposing thoughts and like outwardly thinks one way, and internally thinks another? You say compensation, trying to make up for areas. Sure, we can throw that in there too. There we go. All right, we continue. I like how deep we're going with this chat. What do you think is his love language? Now I have chat in like acts of service. Oh, nice. I would say service. And you guys are about to be like, okay, good. So service, there you go. How would I bring this up? Here we go. Which one would you say he struggles with the most, right? Is my world safe? Kunikita needs to develop a sense of trust with caregivers, which provide reliability, care, and affection. A lack of this will lead to mistrust. Or can Kunikita do things by himself, or do they need to rely on others? Kunikita needs to develop a sense of personal control over physical skills, and a sense of independence. Success leads to a feeling of autonomy. Failure results in shame and doubt. Is Kunikita good or bad? Kunikita needs to begin asserting control and power over their environment. Success leads to a sense of purpose. Kunikitas who try to exert too much power experience disapproval, results in a sense of guilt. How can Kunikita be good? Kunikita needs to cope with new and social and academic demands. Success leads to a sense of competence, while failure results in feelings of inferiority. Who is Kunikita and where is Kunikita going? Kunikita needs to develop a sense of personal identity. Success leads to an ability to stay true to yourself, and failure results in role confusion and a weak sense of self. Are they loved and wanted? Kunikita needs to form intimate, loving relationships with other people. Success leads to strong relationships. Failure results in loneliness and isolation. That's a pretty good one. That's a pretty good one. Actually, what I would go ahead and add on is at times, whenever you think of intimate relationships, whenever you think of failure, right? I'm going to bring this up. A lot of people think of like the normal healing range of like, oh, it sucks for a bit. You try to fall in love and it hurts you and you'll take a little while to get better, but you'll go there, right? There are those individuals in like the extremes that like heal instantly, and like that, like it's like the breakup, and within a couple hours they're already on their phones, like either call it a defense mechanism or something, and trying to be like, hey, you up, like instantly trying to hit on someone. And then there are those on this end where, like, as we keep going, it starts turning into deviant behavior where it takes years upon years for them to get over it. And then even more so on this side, like right over here, We have those like, that take a while for them to get back into the normal range, where all of a sudden, like, these are the types of individuals that, because they've been through one bad experience, like, they really start becoming super ingrained. Like, it could be a friendship, a relationship, whatnot, and trying to go ahead and control future relationships as well, right? So whenever you look at like, not just control, but like, how many of you have ever been with a super duper like, been to a date or something where every minute of every second was like planned out? I have. I'll be honest, it's not fun. It is not fun, right? Because ultimately, like, individuals that tend to be on like this side of the spectrum, especially when they fail a young adult intimate relationship setting, uh, they'll go ahead and be like, all right, we have, from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m., we'll have dinner. From 8 to 8:15, restroom break. From 8:15 through 8:45, we're going to the movies. And it's like, bro, like, chill, like, because again, it was a lack of control at certain points of time, and it's trying to go ahead and meet, trying to go ahead and meet like an act of service for other individuals along the way. And that's where failure kind of becomes an obsession, at that young adult and earlier type of range. Anyway, middle adulthood. Will Kunikita provide something of real value? Adults need to create or nurture things that will outlast them. Oh, God. Often by having children or creating a positive change or benefits other people. Success leads to a positive feeling of usefulness and accomplishment. Failure results in shallow involvement in the world. There you go. So, chat, where are they at? Which ones would you guys say that they failed at? I can go on about the earlier ones, right? Like, growing up and being like super worried that like everyone's out to hurt you, not being comfortable with others and their environment and how they see you. Young adult? Young adult? Is that what you're saying, chaotic? Young adult, middle adulthood. Perfect. There's also maturity. Have I lived a full life? Success is a state of wisdom, failure, regret. So, young adult and middle adulthood. All right. Are you guys learning a lot about the character? I hope you are. Do you think that Kunikita has gone through the grief wheel? In shock, confusion, apathy. I don't think we've seen this so far. Maybe they've gone through it, but right now, at this point in time, from what they've shown in the past couple of episodes, have they gone through it in the past 5 episodes? From what I can tell, no. Have they gone through it in their life? Oh, everyone's gone through it in their life. But in the past 5 episodes, have they gone through this? But do we think they've gone through this? Yes. I absolutely think that they've gone through it. Yeah. But in the past 5 episodes, no. So we can't make that judgment just yet. What type of love do you think he's looking for? Is he just looking for commitment, or does he want like intimacy and passion? Commitment, empty love, yeah, just commitment. Okay. Commitment, you agree? I love how quick you guys are with it. I don't even have to like spend a lot of time with it. Let me see. Is it this one? No, not that one. Okay. What are their cognitive distortions. I put commitment for now. If we fix it, we'll fix it later. What do you think they do? Do they polarize think? Do they mental filter? Or do they overgeneralize? Do they jump to conclusions? Do they catastrophize? What about personalizing everything or blaming others instead of taking accountability themselves? Polarized thinking. If they don't get an A plus, then they're automatically, they're a complete failure. I think that fits them. Disqualifying the positive. Yep. Okay. How old is Kunikita? 22. Male. Peahen. All right. Y'all ready for this chat? Now, I want y'all to tell me how this sounds, okay? Okay, I want y'all to tell me how this sounds. Get your notebooks ready. Here it is. Let me get you guys up close and personal here with me. Kunikita is a 22-year-old male that goes by he, him pronouns that has come into the office to meet with all of you wonderful case managers, social workers, therapists, individuals. From what we can tell, it looks like Kunikita is struggling a little bit with aspects of either the respect of others, the agency that they work at, respect within themselves, or aspects of creativity. When it comes to their attachment style, we're noting that they tend to go ahead and be dismissive with a lot of individuals and secure with others. With their archetypes, one of the key reasons that keeps coming away is that like they're either struggling with being that sage elitist mentality, or on the one hand, they want to go ahead and portray themselves as a sage to others, but if knowledge is contested, then they might come off as an elitist, right? Where they might also try and be a caregiver slave, where again, service is at play, and ultimately if service is contested, they look as though they're just slaving towards others and not necessarily being the appropriate caregiver. A ruler tyrant, right? Where ultimately, hold on, ultimately with ruler tyrant, one of the key things with it is ensuring that control is in the forefront, right? Is Does Kunikita have control? When he doesn't have control, they might switch on that tyrant mode. Creator destroyer, where innovation comes in and play, and everyman follower, where if he doesn't belong, he becomes a follower instead of just like everybody else. Now, interesting to note that we picked caregiver slave because even in his love language, one of the key things everyone pointed out was, he needs his love language is acts of service, which falls in line with his archetype. And then for his love triangle, it looks like commitment is that key aspect where he needs just someone that is there for him. It might be a companion type of love, in that regard. However, when he's challenged, what do we look at? We look at the fact that he displaces or tries to compensate. There's a lot of sublimation where he off puts a lot of his own feelings aside, right, to try and turn them into socially acceptable norms. And when it comes to their developmental theories, it looks as though they've struggled in their young adulthood to middle adulthood and understanding where they're at. Even though they're in their early 20s, it looks like they're struggling with this. And when we look at their cognitive distortions, if it is not the way that they intended it to go, it is a failure. If it is not an A plus or an A, it's an A minus. It is a failure, and that is something that he needs to go ahead and work on. It makes me believe that this individual might have a lot of neurotypical features where control becomes a huge aspect for them, right? And it really makes me, I don't know, wonder if it makes me wonder if control is at the forefront for them, and hence why they might have that notebook there for them. And if that is the case, is Kunikita on the spectrum in some way, shape, or form? where it might not necessarily be due to like it could be a circumscribed interest per se due to the different layers that we have here at play. You have to remember the spectrum doesn't just present itself by ooh shiny objects. It also presents itself by aspects of control, by aspects of trying to go ahead and belong, by aspects of like not feeling like you're enough service wise and not having enough knowledge. You know, there's a lot out here at play, and it's making me wonder if we were to do a Radzar on Edogawa Rampo and on Kunikita, who would score higher? Chat, how does this make you feel about Kunikita? What stands out to you about Kunikita? You wouldn't be surprised if he was. Nothing? You guys can answer. I'm overwriting the mods here. Does this make you look at Kunikita a little differently? And maybe that like maybe he's not so much at the blue just yet, considering all of this. Yeah. For me, it absolutely highlights the fact that they have a lot of issues that they need to work on. And it even makes me wonder how would it, because Desai is kind of an opposite to him, you know, in some capacity. And if a decision were to be made that doesn't go according to Kunikita's plan, because Kunikita wants control and Kunikita wants the aspect of like, you know, Kunikita tries to always be that hero, which isn't here, right? Um, how would Kunikita react if a decision was taken out of his hands because, let's say, Dazai or Atsushi takes it out on purpose? There are so many more dimensions to Kunikita. It's not even funny. Alrighty, chat. There we go. And that is Kunikita in a nutshell so far. Hope y'all enjoyed that. All right. Y'all ready for this? For the following one, I want y'all. We're going to do it this way. For Rampo, we're going to do an R. For Kunikita, we're going to do a K. I'm going to go quick, so I need y'all to answer quick. You only have 4 choices. True, now, and when I was young. True, only now, right, as an adult. True, only when I was younger than 16. Never true at all. Understood? True, now as an adult and when I was young. True, only now as an adult. True, only when I was younger than 16. Or never true. All right, we're doing this for Kunikita and for Rampo. We're going to see where they actually stand in the general. Would they meet the criteria to be diagnosed with autism, with being on the spectrum? All right, first question. I am a sympathetic person. Wow. People are saying for Kunikita, never true. And for Rampo, never true. That's crazy. Okay, never true for Rampo. I often don't know how to act in social situations. True. When younger. It is difficult for me to understand how other people are feeling when we are talking. In chat, we've done 25. I know it's hard. I know it's hard. But when we're done with the episode, we'll do the other half. And then we'll find out. We'll find out 100% for sure. Where would they lie in the grand scale of things? Who would actually get a diagnosis? Would both of them get a diagnosis? Would both of them meet the criteria listed in the DSM-5 here? My holy Bible here, the tome of wisdom here. Would both of them get a diagnosis based out of it? That's the real question. Let's do it!
理想とは何か。その問いへの答えは無数にある。 曰く言葉である。思想である。あらゆる意味の源泉である。
Well, what do you mean by ideal? Because everyone has different ideals. And again, when it comes to ideals, we have to talk a little bit about standards, right? And my questions for you, Kunikita, would be: what are your standards, right? And how do you, for example, like how do you define what is a human, right? And what humanity means. So, for example, could monsters, like some of the monsters that we know, like out there, could they still be, like? Would you still consider them human? Do you still consider them humans, but with the flaw, or not? What does it mean? What is ideal? Is there such a thing as an ideal aspect, ideal version, or is it only our perception of ideal or idealism? There's so much to go into that, because ultimately, having someone, right, putting someone up on a standard, let's say that we have someone up here, right, continuously, and we're saying that this is an ideal human being. What do you think that this does to a person, right? Especially if the standards are close to inachievable, all of a sudden we have individuals that are crushing themselves over trying to meet this ideal aspect that would never come true. And an aspect of idealism at the same time, when you like, if you cement yourself into ideals, you miss the details. You miss the beauty that life is, and you miss the beauty and the gray, because that's what life is a bunch of gray that is out there, right? If I jotted down, like, for example, I'm a huge fan of journaling. I really do think, like, if you're going through a rough time in your life and like you really want to go ahead and like heal, right? Having a voice memo, absolutely crucial, absolutely huge, right? Please, like, have your phone, record yourself, vent to yourself, write stuff down, huge. But there's a difference between doing that and then overdoing it, right? By trying to go ahead and like say cement yourself, cement your schedule, cement everything that you have to go ahead and use, right? Because again, ultimately, if we're to go ahead and do this, let's talk about an ideal human. Chat. Who is the most ideal human or individual that has ever lived? Who do you think is the most ideal human individual that has ever lived? Who would be the perfect 10? If we're going to go ahead and put them on the scale. Who would be the perfect 10, chat? The most ideal human in real life. In your life. Who would you classify in there? In your life. Who would you put? Sure, some people would put like Jesus, right? Religious figures. Who else? Okay, then who would come at a 9? Who do you think would come in at a 9? Could be an anime character as well. Mr. Rogers, sure. If you want Mr. Rogers to come in at a 9, we can put Mr. Rogers there. Who else? Dazai, sure. If you want Dazai to come in at a 9, that's fine. Leon Kennedy, Uncle Iroh, sure. What about an 8? Hatsune Miku, sure. So, chat, where would you put yourself in the scale of an ideal person? Where would you put yourself in the scale of an ideal person? 6. Okay. 5, 1. Some people are saying 1, 2. Like, I guess if this is 0, right, and this is 1, then chat 5, 6. Chat 5, 6, 4 says chat. 3, 2 says chat. Chat, who would you put at a 7 for an ideal human being? Steve Irwin, sure. Steve Irwin. Who else? Your friends? Who else? What about Keanu Reeves? Sure. Whoever you want. I don't mind. What about a 5? 5 or 6? Your sister? Sure, absolutely. What about a 5 or 6? Who would you put there? You'd put your mom in a 5 or 6 or 7? Your mom? Sure, for some people. Relatives? Sure. What about a 4? I love him to death. Who would you put in a 4? Chat. As for an ideal human being, who is a less than ideal human? For some people, it's your mom. It can be family. Yeah, absolutely. Mr. Krabs, sure. Who else? You would put yourself there, Evie? Your dad? Sure. Old friends? Okay, what about a 3? Chat, who would you put on a 3? Your grandpa? Corrupt politicians? Anybody else? Okay, who would you put at a 2? We're almost there, chat. We're answering Kunikita's questions. You would also put corrupt politicians at a 0? Sure. That's okay. Your father. This one's here. This one's over here. Father, who else? Serial offenders. J.K. Rowling. Bullies. Okay, chat. Question for you. Where would you put, say, I don't know, Hitler, if we're going for the extremes here? Where would you put murderers or 0? Okay. Nope, it's a scale from 0 to 10. We cannot go into the negatives. What about essayers? Okay. So interesting, chat. Because what I'm hearing is you guys put yourselves usually from 2 to 5 a lot closer to corrupt politician, essayers, Hitler, all of these individuals. And yet on the other side, you have on, the higher levels, you have your friends. And you have your mom and your dad. Are you guys really closer to this group of individuals than, say, Bob Ross and your friends and Keanu Reeves and your sister for some of you guys and men? Like, or your mom? Or like, are you guys closer to this end? Or are you guys more along the way that way? Because you guys are putting yourself 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you guys are saying that this is where you rank yourself as ideals, and you guys just ranked everyone else as 0 and 1. So you guys are putting yourself right next to all these corrupt individuals, serial crime offenders, whatnot. Individuals that may have hurt you. Okay. So then you guys are moving a lot closer. I'm saying 7. So if you guys could regrade yourself, where would you guys put yourself? If you guys could regrade yourselves, where would you put yourselves now that you've seen the entire scale of things? Okay, chat 5, chat 4, chat 5, 6, 5, 6. Chat. So what would it take for some of you guys to go from a 5 to a 6, or a 6 to a 7, or a 7 to an 8? What would that look like for you guys? What would you have to do, or what would you have to prove to yourself that you are at that 7, or you are at that 6? So you think having a disability pushes you down to a 6 or a 7 and not the internal value that you carry, Nico? Or laying in bed pushes your value down? And what would you do for you guys to take that aspect, for yourself? Because this is about you, right? Being able to achieve your goals. What does that look like? What goal do you start with? Do you guys get what I'm referencing here? When we're talking about ideals and we're talking about individuals and how we see ourselves, we often do rank ourselves low, right? But when we put everything together, we start seeing that we are not closer, we're not as bad usually as we think about things. It's a giant grayscale. It really is a giant grayscale that some of us have to take active steps, because not all of us are at 7th, 8th, 9th sense. Some of us that are 4, 5, 6, 7, right? And we're trying to take a step forward. And sometimes life can be a little hard, And this is my big empathy towards all of you, because I've been there, dude. I used to rank myself at a 3. I used to think like, you know what? I don't feel like I'm productive enough. I don't feel like I'm doing anything out there that's truly impactful. But I feel like I want to take a step to improve, right? So, like, idealism is an ever-changing thing that's not set by standards or expectations, right? They're set by internal guidelines as to what we believe gives us intrinsic or extrinsic value. When I look at this, I'm looking at you, chat, and I'm seeing a lot of people that have been hurt. I'm seeing a lot of people that have been hurt either by yourselves, by society, by your friends, by your parents, by your loved ones, by, you could even say, religion in of itself, or others who have given you an intrinsic value that you have taken upon yourselves to not rank yourselves up higher than what you truly are. Because all of you have the capacity for change. All of you have the capacity to go from a 5 to a 6, a 6 to a 7, or something to add on if you wanted to. But ultimately, sometimes in life, a lot of things happen to us and it impacts us, and it really, really hurts. So when Kunikita asks, what is the ideal? Well, we have to start asking, is there an ideal? Because there's a different ideal for every single individual out there. Anyway, I hope this helps you all out. Exactly. Not everyone has an equal capacity. Did that help, chat? I hope it did. I hope it at least made you learn something new about yourself. Dude, the clip was barely a second. Thank you for making 70% of chat rethink their existence.
何かその問いへの答えは無数にある。いわく言葉である。思想である。あらゆる意味の源泉である。だが俺に言わせればその答えは明確だ。俺の手帳の表紙、そこに書かれた単語である。
It is the word written on my notebook's cover. That is the ideal for you. And what happens if that notebook were to be destroyed? What happens if that ideal gets torn away? What happens if all of a sudden you can no longer use it?
理想。この手帳には俺のすべてが書き込まれている。
What, the future, the past, the present?
計画、目的。この手帳が 俺の未来の全てだ。
I guess the question is, can you change it though? If you don't like, are you a slave to the future or to what's written? Or can you actively go through and try and fight against fate to try and change it? How do you resign yourself to this ideal, Kunikita? Ooh, what a way to start off asking questions. What the hell, chat? We're only the opening in. Plans are fragile, yes. Oh yeah, because on YouTube it's muted. What is up with the lemon guy though? I keep stopping at him. It's like, what is he gonna do? Squirt the lemon in your eye and like spit on you? Like, is it gonna be like a lemon surprise attack? I know we have Ginger there with the drip. Is that a collar on Ginger? Or is I forget what it's called. That came out wrong. I forget what it's called. Chat. The lemon guy is so silly. Choker, thank you. He has a choker. Okay, my bad. Y'all know y'all color is crazy. Y'all know what I meant. God. Oh, damn. Choker collar, easy mistake. Yeah, is that like a lemon surprise attack? Like, what is it, right? You pull, like, you rip the lemon, you throw it at someone, it explodes? Like, you make lemonade? Like, what is this? A whole 10 seconds? Oh, gee. I better wait outside, Mr. Krabs. Scandalous. I'm not following the tome of wisdom. Oh.
俺の名前は国木田ドッポ。現実を行く理想主義者にして、理想を追う現実主義者。時間だ。おはようございます。国木田さん、助けてください。なんだ朝っぱらから。
Oh God.
太宰さんがあれです。ああ、国木田君、大変なんだ。これを見たまえよ。
何がだ。だ
からこれ。
Is he high? Like what? Like is he on shrooms or something? Or he took a little bit of acid? Like what? The world is melting, man. The world is melting. I love Desai so much. Oh, he's lost it. He's lost it.
木田君、大変なんだ。これを見たまえよ。
何がだ。
だからこれだよ。
俺にはお前のアホ面しか見えんが。
ついにたどり着いたのだ。これが死後の世界。湯本広坂。
こいつは一体どういうわけだ。
What?
多分これです。
He ate shrooms. Oh no. He ate shrooms. Oh no. Justin, yeah, he's shrooming. He's shrooming.
やはり完全自殺読本は命中だな。裏山に生えたキノコを食するだけでこんなにも愉快な自殺の道へ行けるなんて。
毒キノコ。
それがですね、致死性の猛毒キノコと間違えついに捉えた虹色のゾウリムシだ。よし行きだ。
Oh God.
出勤後の書類整理だ。終わるまで待て。
Oh.
国木田くん君もおいでよ黄泉の国すごいぞ
That was really fast, Desai. Hold on, where'd you get that extra? That was so fast, Desai. You literally turned the sushi into a rope bunny. Like, how? How could you quickly bandage him up like this? Like, you're so quick and I'm guessing that's a port mafia skill. Yeah, in a sushi roll. Poor Atsushi, I know. Like, he's got head cannon. He just carried extra bandages everywhere. Atsushi roll. Oh. I would guess it's the opposite. Atsushi, I think that they're a great team. They just get on each other's nerves, and at times they have different ideals, right? Which might clash and might make, like, I do wonder if it's ever come to this point where Kunikita's idealism and Dazai's ideals don't match together, and it's like a mission critical objective, and unfortunately Dazai does something that absolutely triggers Kunikita, like to the core, right? But they have to resolve their differences to keep working together. Yeah, they lock in when it's necessary.
どうしてコンビを組んでるんだろう。
国木田さん、社長より本日の依頼です。
ダサイ、何をトロトロ歩いている。もう少し急げ。約束の時間まであと2分15秒しかないのだぞ。
そりゃあ大変だ。僕も同行していいんですか？
これも新人教育の一環だ。今回俺たちは横浜連続失踪事件を追う。
確か横浜を訪れた旅行客が次々と行方不明になるっていう事件ですよね。
タレコミが来た。匿名のな。被害者は誘拐され、ある場所に監禁されているというのだ。
匿名のタレコミ、実にうさんくさくて素敵な響きだ。
だが無視するわけにもいかん。
監禁場所を調べるんですか？
いいや。まずはタレコミの主を調べる。
Oh.
守備はどうだ？情報や。
ようメガネ、今日も手帳の言いなりかい。
Shouldn't this?
非合法の伝続
Speaking like that's a detective agent.
口を聞いてもいいのか？
Shouldn't you treat them with a little bit more respect? Like, if they're a hacker and they're able to get all this information and stuff for you, they would be like the most, like, I don't know, secured, protected individual out there, because they're able to go out and get all the information that you may need, right?
お前が逮捕されれば亡きお父上が泣くぞ。
父上の話は出すんじゃねえよ。
それより遅刻だぜ。
But the amount of blue that's surrounding this guy just... It's kind of wild, I'm not gonna lie. There's so much blue around him. Blue shirt, blue background because of the thing, you know, the blue lights that are emitted, like the giant fish kind of looking at you as well. You know, blue fish, you know, everything's blue.
珍しいじゃん。なんだ。
Everything's very azul. It's very, you know, like deep, 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 deep ocean blue here. I like it.
これとデート？
違う。デートとは。
Like, even the screens, they're in night mode. They're in blue. Dabu dee da 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 dabu dee dabu da dabu dee dabu da. No. First one fish, two fish, three fish.
決められた女性とするものだ。そして結婚は6年後と。
What?
デートとは決められた女性。
Date should be with the chosen woman.
そして結婚。
Followed by marriage 6 years later. Kunikita. That's a very detailed, insane plan. He has that written down. Yeah, I was about to say what in only hand holding until then, like no kissing, no relationships with your partner for those 6 years until you get married, Kunikita, or are you okay with that? Like
本は6年ごとこの手帳に書いてある。
that's what,
結婚を決めてる女性がいるんですか？
それができるのは4年後だ。
そいつは新人か？
中島敦です。
おいらの名前は田口
information brokers.
情報屋だ。金次第で調べられないことはねえぜ。
それで
Nice.
タレコミの主が誰か分かったか？
青の使徒。
何？
The what?
タレコミの主が誰か分かったか？
青の使徒。
The Azure Messenger.
何？
サーバーにデータが残ってた。あとは誘拐事件被害者の写真くらい。サーバーにデータが残ってた。あとは誘拐。
Interesting that we don't get a shot of their face, right? A picture of the kidnapped victims, I guess. We just get a shot of the victims' backs.
の使徒。
何？
サーバーにデータが残ってた。あとは誘拐。事件被害者の写真く。
That's interesting. So you mean to tell me at no point in time, either that or are they all like covering their face in some capacity? That makes it even more sus. No way, not a, that's exactly what I'm getting at. It's like no way, not a single frame of their face is caught on
綺麗
camera.
だな。けどそいつは悪者じゃねえんだろう。犯人のアジトを教えてくれたわけだし。
さてね、蓋を開けたら誘拐犯の一味でしたなんてことないといいけど。
青の使徒か。引き続き調査を頼みたい。
気が向いたらな。おいらは熱帯魚の世話で忙しいんだ。
I'm busy looking at my tropical fish. Bro! I don't know. I find things like that sus. Like, when you're telling me that the only pictures that you've been able to get is a picture of the back of their face, and not necessarily like a picture of their face, all of my responses go up. All of my triggered responses go up.
ああ、よろしく頼む。タクシーを呼んだ。これから依頼のあった廃病院に向かう。
国木田君はなぜ六蔵少年の面倒を見てる？
廃病院に向かう。
By the
国木田君は
tipster.
なぜ六蔵少年の面倒を見てるの？
どういう意味だ？
非合法のハッカーに仕事を回すなんて国木田君らしくないし、今日も電話で済む話にこうして足を運んでる。確か彼の父親は亡くなってたよね。父親代わりのつもり？
ここに来たのは小僧に情報屋との顔合わせをさせるためだ。それ以上の意味はない。
No, there's clearly more to it than just that. You wouldn't just bring him in for just that reason, unless there's something pertinent to do with this case and something to do with the individual. Probably something to do with the father, right? Kunikita's the type of individual that doesn't just do nothing for no reason, right? Like, I'm just gonna do it out of sheer will. Pretty sure that's not just written in your ideal notebook, right? There's more to it than that. I'm assuming that it's in correlation with the individual, right? The hacker, and more than likely a storyline that's having to do with that, right? Yeah, we needed to see the hacker's face for some reason. It all ties in like that. Yeah, who's very methodical.
そういう
Exactly.
ことにしておこうか。
この運転手も情報屋の一人で、元は舞台役者だ。
全然売れなくて、それで転職したんです。
転職して正解だ。俺の知る限り、彼は誰よりもこの横浜の地理に詳しいし、今回の連続失踪事件でも11人の被害者のうち2人を失踪直前に目撃している。事件でも彼は元は舞台役者だ。この運転手も情報屋の一人で、元は舞台役者だ。
全然売れなくて、それで転職したんです。
転職して正解だ。俺の知る限り、彼は誰よりもこの横浜の地理に詳しいし、今回の連続失踪事件でも
Kunikita, that's not a good thing. Kunikita, that is not a good thing. Kunikita. Kunikita. Bro is a prime suspect. He's seen 2 out of the last 11 victims. For me, 1 is already a causality. Okay, what happened? Where'd you go? Blah, 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 blah. 2, though? 2, my suspicion's through the roof at this point in time. You gotta be careful. Yeah, isn't this cool? Or isn't this...
11人の被害者のうち2人を失踪直前に目撃している。
目撃したと言っても港からホテルまで乗せただけですから。
本当に誘拐なんですかね。身代金の要求もないし。
乗せた2人はこの人物で間違いないか。
ええ、間違いありません。服装も同じです。
誘拐なん
目撃したと言っても港からホテルまで乗せただけですから。
本当に誘拐なんですかね。身代金の要求もないし。
目撃したと言っても港からホテルまで乗せただけですから。
本当に誘拐なんですかね。身代金の要求もないし。
乗せた2人
本当に誘拐なんですかね。身代金の要求もないし。
乗せた2人はこの人物で間違いないか。
ええ。
身代金の要求もないし。
乗せた2人はこの人物で間違いないか。
ええ、間違いありません。
もないし。
I love this anime. This anime is so good. I think if I didn't pay as much attention as I pay attention to things, I wouldn't be able to go ahead and see certain similarities. I might be overcooking here, but my detective brain is telling me this. I might be overcooking here, and it's not a great drawing in any capacity. But this is what my detective brain is telling me. Look at the lines. Yeah. Look at the lines, right? Look at the ears as well, right? You put on some glasses on this individual. Yes. My brain was like, no way. No, and then you're telling me that two individuals have been in the car with them? Nah, fam. Ain't no way. I would have never noticed that, bro. I'm like looking at it. I'm looking at it through like every angle I can. And it's like,
乗せた2人はこの人物で間違いないか？
ええ、間違いありません。服装も同じです。
なるほど。ひらめいた。見てこの写真。2人ともメガネかけてるじゃない？つまりこれはメガネ連続失踪事件。国木田君の出番だよ。
被害者の中にはメガネでない者もいた。共通点とは言えん。
なんでやっと国木田君の出番だと思ったのに。
ってならんなそのセリフ。
俺はメガネ以外で出番なしということが
なんだ。
着きました。ご指定の廃病院です。
Hey, yo!
いいムードだね。なんか出そう。
何が
That
だ？
may be haunted. Oh god.
さすがに不気味ですね。
なんかいい感じじゃない？
I don't know. I wouldn't go into an abandoned hospital. That's just me though. I'm like, I have a feeling I'd bump into something I wouldn't want to see it at like an abandoned hospital, and like, you know, or bring something back home that I don't want to
テン
bring.
ション上がっちゃうな。
また変なキノコでもかじってるんじゃないだろうな。
ひょっとして国木田君ビビってる。
Time to
も
ghost
し
hunt,
か
I
して
guess.
幽霊とか怖いんですか？
幽霊など怖くはない。
じゃあ、
おー
愚か者め。この手の映画では調子に乗って軽率な行動を取る者から犠牲になるのだ。
見てください、この足跡。
Ah, recent
まだ
movement.
新しい。今の声。
地下か。なんだこれは。
Don't trust. Don't trust. I know your ideals are screaming at you to save. Don't trust. Here's why. What do you mean that this was perfectly timed? What do you mean that, like, you know, yeah, they're Ghostbusters. You guys arrived at this hospital at this perfect timing, you know, enough that there doesn't seem to be any struggle marks on their body so far. Don't get me wrong. You know, she absolutely looks gorgeous, right? But we heard her voice, but there's no struggle marks or anything on this individual that seems to showcase a struggle happened for them to be in their, you know, bra and underwear in this regard, and then perfectly timed to them holding on, you know, to the last little bit for them to let go. That for me screams that this is a setup, and this is a setup to go ahead and, like, you know, get a presumption of innocence in some capacity. I.e., who's the best alibi? But the detectives themselves. Makes me wonder if, like, say that the taxi driver and this individual aren't in cahoots in some way, shape, or form, and weren't like, hey, like we're getting there. We'll be there in about this amount of time. And maybe there's a safety option to get out of it if needed. I don't know. I might be overcooking here. I just don't trust it, especially the timing of that.
東京の大学で教鞭をとっております。
12人目の被害者ということですか。
あなたを誘拐した犯人の顔は見た？
すいません。駅で急に気を失って気がついた時にはこうして水槽の中で溺れかけ。
It's a likely story. It's a likely story. I mean, let's put it out there, right? Okay, you blacked out. You know, they apparently undressed you, put you in this tank, and were running water. But why run the water exactly as these detectives are coming through here, right? Say the dogs, or am I missing something? Yeah.
ていました。
太宰、この状況をどう見る？
佐々木さんの格好がエロい。
The Psy.
この状況をどう見る？
佐々木さんの格好がエロい。
はじめに
Buddy, not the right
ここ
time.
には私の他にも誘拐された方がいるはずです。水槽で溺れかける前に確かに声を聞きました。
Why is she so calm though? Why is she so calm though? Anybody, like, who would be freaking out in a situation like this? She's leading them down a path. Absolutely. Absolutely. Which makes me wonder if this isn't all just one setup. If this isn't all just one big setup and you're about to fall for it.
国木田さん、いました。ここです。
And you have 2 cameras recording? Bro, this is a straight up setup. This is insane. You have 2 big cameras just recording back there. Nah.
大丈夫か？早くしてくれ。下がれ、アツシ君。ガスだ。国木田君も。おい、しっかりしろ。おい、国木田君。離せ、太宰。人はこのようなことで死んではならんのだ。離せ、離せ。
Ugh. Ugh. The timing on all of that.
横浜連続失踪事件の被害者。民間の探偵社が独断で踏み込んだため
But perished when it.
死亡。
Wow. It really does put a bad name on the agency, right? Ultimately affecting one of the things that Dazai doesn't want to be affected. Like,
が敵の狙いだったのか。
探偵社を陥れるのが目的だったってことですか。
太宰の言うように俺の出番ではなかったのかもな。
国木田さん、
佐々木女子は
医務室にいるはずですが。
いや、よかったよかった。
and he's there just like rizzing her up. I bet you anything what Dazai is doing is actually getting her to lower her guard. You know, since the very beginning, playing off this act, because Dazai is very, very, very good this way, right? Where he goes in and he layers just enough information to get you to think that he's just playing around with you or like joking with you, and is getting all the information that he needs.
先日は本当にありがとうございました。あの時助けていただかなければ私の命はございませんでした。
いえ、
そればかりか昨晩はご邸宅にお泊めいただきまして。
どこに泊まったんですか？
うち。
太宰様、その大変お世話になりまして。
だってさ、
そういうのありなの、探偵って。
やっぱり佐々木さんは犯人の顔は全く見てないようだ。日頃から貧血でよく倒れるらしいんだけど、事件の日に気を失ったのもそれが。
How likely is that to happen, especially when the Zai's using his calm voice as though he knows something is up? The way, yeah, the Zai-sama. like how likely is that to happen considering how Desai is totally calm and talk like reiterating the story? It's as though like they know, yeah, the side eye, they know that this story isn't 100% true and that there's more to it than just that.
その後どうやって誘拐されたのか。
お前はああいう女性が好みか。
All girls are his type. Yeah, exactly.
でも佐々木さんは頼んだら一緒に心中してくれそうでいいな。
Oh God.
国木田君こそどうなの？ああいうタイプ。
事件の被害者にして承認。それだけだ。
Oh.
国木田君ならそうか。そうだ淳君、読む？理想の女性像。
貴様いつの間に吸った？
It's written down? What, like, above 5'5", ginger with a choker. We're just gonna throw up like random random things out here for Kunikita code, huh? Crying. So I don't know what to make of Desai's behavior towards women, what it means about his character. I think a big reason, yeah, like that. I think a big reason for this though is like you have to remember for Desai, it's like he has to act like a fool at times because people lower their guard if they think that he's easily manipulated. Like if people can easily manipulate him, people will give out more information, you know? A ginger with the choker? Bro is not above 5'5". Oh no.
書いてあるんですか？
国木田君の手帳にはあらゆる予定計画理想の類が記入されているのだ。ほらこことか。うわっ、これはいくらなんでも。
Read it! I wanna know!
何か問題あるか？
いいえ、非常に共感できる理想の女性像だとは思いますが。
女性には見せない方がいいだろうね。
俺の話はいい。
It's making me wonder, like, and no seas mentisha. I gotta know, like, is he the type of guy that's like, oh, you know what, I want a like, you know, a power couple, girl boss, you know, a partner that's a total boss in of themselves, right? Or is he more like, I want someone that's like more, you know, like into like like, you know, stereotypical roles. They take care of that like me and the household or whatever that may be, right? Like, where is he at in that spectrum? More akin to his ideals, but yeah, well, that's where it comes from, right?
No, 誘拐の話だ。何か気づいたことは？
Does he like them older or younger?
あるよ。この新聞の写真、国木田君がなかなか男前。
She looked pretty manly.
それは俺に殴られたいという意思表示か？
吉村君はこれだな。せっかく紙面を飾ったんだから、もうちょっと色気のあるメガネ、ね。こんな地味なメガネ。
おい。
生来花のある私のようなものしか似合わないよ。
A flamboyant
どうかね、
person.
淳君。
You know, Design talks a lot about women, but wait a minute, this is making me think a little bit. Yeah, I was about to say. Hold on. Yeah, we know. Design looks like a nerd. Design looks pretty good with glasses. He looks great. Do y'all think that Design is bi? He talks a lot about women, but at the same time, he acknowledges a lot about his okay, yeah, Elena. What's wrong with me asking a question? But demi-romantic. Oh yeah, it's King Quirius the Third. Yes, at least not straight. Yeah, I was about to say the real one was.
結構いいかも。
俺には詐欺師にしか見えんがな。待てよ。
どうしたの？
行くぞ、二人とも。犯人が分かった。
Oh. Oh.
悪いな、急に頼んで。
電話で連続殺人事件の犯人が分かったとおっしゃっていましたが、これから犯人逮捕に向かわれるんですね。
そうだ。
ならば急ぎましょう。目的地はどちらです？
ここだ。
は？
誘拐現場はここで、犯人はお前だ。お前はタクシーに乗った被害者に催眠ガスを嗅がせ、気絶したところを誘拐したんだ。
And you're so giant brained. No, I feel like he's accomplice to something bigger. Bro, no. Like, it's one of those things where you just like, you take your time with the show and it pays off. Like, if you're actively paying attention to it, you know?
自分は防毒マスクをかぶってな。
一体何の目的で？
目的なら想像はつく。出荷だよ。
出荷？
だから売り飛ばすのさ。裏社会には臓器密売の闇市場がある。海外市場で売るから日本円ですごい値がつくわけじゃないけど、単独犯なら人財産だよね。
ひど
い。いやいや、お待ちください。このタクシーで誘拐されたのなら、被害者の足取りを追う死刑が気づかないはずないでしょう。
いや、誰もこのタクシーには注目してなかった。なぜなら、被害者が姿を消し、足取りが確認できなくなるのは次の日以降だからだ。お前はこれぞという客が乗ったらガスで気絶させ、アジトに監禁し、荷物と衣服を奪う。廃病院の被害者がみんな下着姿だったのはそのためだ。そしてお前は奪った衣服を着て被害者に変装し、宿泊予定だったホテルにチェックインして、わざと監視映像に映る。
Oh, and he was an actor, chat. And he was an actor. And he was an actor. God, this version of the Zai is just terrifying, though. Look at him, right? Like the version that already knows the exchange rates of what's happening in the black market. No light in his eyes. He's just like, yeah, I know exactly what the fuck you're up to. Like,
いやいや、お待ちください。このタクシーで誘拐されたのなら、被害者の足取りを追う死刑が気づかないはずないでしょう。
いや、誰もこのタクシーには注目してなかった。なぜなら、被害者が姿を消し、足取りが確認できなくなるのは次の日以降だからだ。
Sure.
お前はこれぞという客が乗ったらガスで気絶させ、アジトに監禁し、荷物と衣服を奪う。廃病院の被害者がみんな下着姿だったのはそのためだ。そしてお前は奪った衣服を着て被害者に変装し、宿泊予定だったホテルにチェックインしてわざと監視映像に映る。被害者の身長と体格がほぼ全員同じなのはお前が変装可能な客を選んでいたから。
Passengers you can impersonate.
帽子やメガネの被害者が多いのも変装しやすいからだろう。監視カメラの映像にそれらしい映像が映っていれば当局はごまかせる。映像に被害者の最後の姿が映っているとき、本当の被害者はすでに誘拐されていたんだ。
佐々木女子の誘拐はもっと簡単だったでしょう。駅で倒れていた彼女は居合わせた善意の有志によってタクシーに乗せられた。駅前なら救急車を呼ぶより早いからね。
すべて状況証拠です。
まあね、確かにおっしゃる通り。どうする国木田君。
貴様、本気でそんなこと。
取引をいたしましょう。
取引
Why did that specific one, like, you know, sound like, oh, that's just circumstantial evidence? Like everything else he was being very quiet about. But that one particular one, he brings up the aspect of like, oh, that's not, you don't really have evidence for that. Yeah, you don't really have evidence for that.
条件を飲んでいただければ、僕は自首します。武装探偵社で僕を保護してください。期限は検察取り調べを終え、取引による証人保護が成立するまでの72時間。
What?
どういうことだ？
僕はそそのかされただけなんです。新興の臓器密売組織とやらにうまい話がある。絶対にバレないからと。
Oh God.
なのに
黒幕がいるのか？そいつらの居場所は
わかりません。ただ取引はいつも公安中央ビルで。
あそこか。
それで保護してほしい理由は？
実は誘拐した者の中にポートマフィアの関係者がいたらしいのです。
そりゃまずい。
ポートマフィアの連中か。おい、死にたくない。待て。
国木田さん、携帯がつながります。
That fucking terrified me. Whoa. Yeah, the sudden sound just like, oh.
妨害電波だね。
運転手を失えば真相は闇の中だ。太宰は運転手を終え、小僧は警察に救援を要請。俺が奴らを引きつける。
了解。
Oh.
知能力突破幻覚
Double power.
フラッシュマン
Woo!
今だ
Does that allow you to create anything that you can imagine? Chat? If you're able to go ahead and double poet it, if you're able to go ahead and write it down, like, ooh, how far can you go with that ability?
金属は脆い。人心も脆い。
Not necessarily. I mean, the human psyche can be pretty resilient. Now, can we push the human psyche towards a breaking point? Sure. But the human psyche in general is pretty resilient. And then as we found out, jet fuel can't melt steel beams, or can melt steel beams. So it just depends. Yeah. Like, hold on, TV man. Hold on. Well, you can't.
貴様らはどうだ武装探偵者。
貴様ポートマフィアの芥川。
いかにも。 当たらぬのなら空間を食らうまでもない。
人を殺める趣味はないのでな。
弱者のザレ言か。
突破幻覚スタンガン縄につけまがいぬ。
What a smart man. What a smart man. Literally used his environment like towards his advantage. Was like, okay, yeah, no. You know what? You're in the space itself. Might as well. That was Giga brain right there. Not enough.
武装探偵者は放艦の集いにあらずか。さすがは太宰さんの隠れみろ。
Ooh.
邪魔が入ったか。まあいい。いずれまた刃を交えることもあろう。続きはいずれ。
二度と来るな。
Don't ever come again. He's like, please no. Please stop. Oh.
運転手は
But does eyes cover? What do you mean? Like his partner? What do you mean his cover? Wait.
運慶に引き渡したよ。
ここが臓器密売人が取引に使っていたっていうビルですか。
逃げた後か。
壁が黒焦げですね。
Yeah.
ここはかつて青木王が自爆した場所だね。
そうだ。
え、草食機のテロリスト事件で有名なあの青木王ですか。
そう。国や企業の施設を
Many
いくつ
national
も破壊した
corporate
テロリスト
facilities.
青の使徒って名前を聞いた時からなんとなく青木王に関連がありそうだと思ってたけどね。
青木王は最後に自爆したとは聞いてましたが、ここがそうなんだ。確か警察に追い詰められて自殺したんですよね。
そうだ。あの時俺は奴のアジトがここだと突き止め警察に報告した。
Sure.
青木王のアジトを発見したのは国木田さんなんですか。
だが事件当日、軍、公安、警察が合同で動いていたため指揮系統は混乱していた。報告を受けて素早くこのアジトに駆けつけたのは現場の刑事がわずか。
No.
さらに悪いことに犯人のテロリスト青木王は警察の動きに感づき、爆
No.
弾を抱えてここに立てこもった。錯綜した命令の挙句下された決断は突入。だが特殊部隊でも異能力者でもない刑事たちに何ができる。追い込まれた青木王はここで自爆して果てた。5人の刑事を巻き添えにしてな。
Wow.
思い出したよ国木田君。その時殉職した刑事さんの一人があの六蔵少年の父親だよね。
正義感の強いいい刑事だった。アジトの報告を警察にあげたのは俺だ。俺が殺したようなものだ。
違うでしょ。
So he is carrying a lot of guilt. He is carrying a lot of guilt for what transpired altogether. You know, he might not like to show it, but for him, this is probably something that eats him up, right? It's like ultimately the deaths of all these individuals are because of me. And that's true. Like, you know, it's...
悪いのは自爆した犯人じゃないですか。
その通りだよ、淳君。それでもなお国木田君は六蔵少年の面倒を
Hey, as long as the boy's not dead, like, you know, I'm not worried for his psyche that much, because ultimately he can, as we've seen, he can show that like kinder side in that, like, you know, to him in that element, right? Ultimately showcasing that there is that little bit of compassion, and he's kind of dealing with that grief thanks to that boy still being there, right? So as long as he's alive, like, Kunikita should have some sort of, like, the boy is a grounder for Kunikita, and that's why self-care is important, right? Yeah, Kunikita can't stop trying to look out for the Rapunzel boy. Yeah.
死んだ父親の代わりにね。
Yeah.
なんです？
探偵社への依頼文だ。依頼人は青の人。
The Azure Messenger. Here's the thing is, oftentimes, like in criminal psychology, they really go in depth about this, which there are people that become fanatics of those individuals that murderers and individuals that create a lot of chaos out in life and society and everything. That you see a lot of copycats, and oftentimes these copycat murderers or copycat individuals that come through and name themselves something similar are usually individuals that either A, right, grew up with already a fanaticism about it, or B, are in some way, shape, or form aligned due to like family, you know, partners, caregivers, somebody that was closely related to the individual that doesn't see the or sees it more as an injustice what happened to the said individual. This is why you always got to be careful, and there's always got to be a system of support to regulate these things.
なるほどね。青の人の正体が見えてきた。で、内容は？
依頼は爆弾解除。
爆弾？
明日の日没までに爆弾を解除せねば数百人が死ぬ。
そんな爆弾簡単には。
ここにある機材は爆弾を作るためのものだ。
Oh,
これだけの設備があればかなりの高性能爆弾が作れる。
そんな。
心配するな。爆発などさせん。今度こそ必ず俺たちが止める。
Oh. Well, let's hope you do, Kunikita. Let's hope you do. Oh my goodness, dude. Everything's just compiling in together, but why do I feel like the girl's a part of it? Why do I feel like the girl's a part of it? Why do I feel like she is probably a key reason for all of this to go down? And how is she related to the Azure King? That's the question I have. How is all of this coming in together, right? In some capacity. No! No! It flew on by. It was too quick. Pulls out a lighter and waves it. That was quick. You know what that means, chat? I'll wait till the end of the song. It's so good. And not on YouTube, yes. Yes. Welcome, by the way, Pudding. Chat. It means that we're halfway through season 1. That's what that means. It means we're halfway through season 1. That's crazy. I know. We're halfway through season 1 already. That's insane. It's going by quick. It's going by quick. Oh my god. That feels crazy. Hey, I know. But I really like this because it's like this episode is really just showcasing like Kunikita's thought process, right? And for me, that is huge. Like the more that it cements and really encapsulates like how Kunikita thinks, how they feel, how they're processing information, like that is awesome, right? We're ultimately seeing like time, the environment, everything itself is going to test Kunikita's ideals, right? And unfortunately, he has to deal with it in one way or another. Which, by the way, we're not done with that. What would you guys rate this episode out of 10? Ladies and gentlemen, all my non-binary pals, what would you guys give a rating for this episode? Yeah, time flies by when you're having fun. Yeah, for me, this was a solid like 9 out of 10. This was really good. This was really well done, you know? Solid 8, 8.5, 9. Yeah, I can see that. That was really, really good. But we're not done yet, chat, because we're still working through it. I'm often told I ask embarrassing questions. All right, last one. I tend to point out other people's mistakes. By the way, y'all can do this on your own. All right, here we go. Y'all ready? Oh, there was one incomplete. Let me find it. Here you go. Aha! Interesting. Here we go. I'm going to show you 2 scores. You ready? Here we go. Kunikita, from the one that we just did, ranks higher. Kunikita scored higher in social relatedness. By the way, both of them. Here you go, exactly. From 65 through 105, some autistic traits are present but not consistent, right? Kunikita scored 120. 106 to 149. These traits are consistent, presently aligned with autistic profiles. Yep. Oftentimes, the minimum needed for diagnosis is a 65. Oftentimes, the minimum needed is a 65, a total of 65. Kunikita scoring a 120, it's already pushing him all the way up here. They're at 65 to 105. So here's one of the big differences, right? And here's one of the big ones is social relatedness seems to be a big impact for both of them. Ultimately, their social standing is exactly what highlights even further. But their circumscribed interest for Kunikita, i.e. the scheduling and whatnot, is what pushes the score even higher. Having the set schedule, the routines, all of that is what pushes the score significantly higher. That is the difference between Kunikita and Rampo. Is Rampo at least we talked a little bit about the sensory motor and stuff like that. But, the fact that Kunikita has to have a set schedule, a set routine, a set everything, that is what pushes Kunikita's score higher in that regard. Don't get me wrong. Can Rampo still technically get a diagnosis for it? Yes. The 65 is the minimum needed. However, you have to be careful not to project a lot of your own aspects onto these characters, right? And again, we're only doing it with the limited information that we currently have. Feel free to go ahead and do this for yourself. Get the score, but answer in the perspective of the characters, not necessarily your perspective as to what you think they should have. That is very, very interesting. But no, that's the overall aspect of things is because Kunikita keeps a schedule, because he follows routine, because he kind of sucks it, his voice can go high, low, so on and so forth. He doesn't have a normal rhythm, all of these things. His score is significantly higher, which kind of makes sense if you think about it. Of course, We don't know their childhood or anything else that may impact it, which we're more than curious about to get further information. Anyway, with that being said, we're going to jump into the stage real quick. It's going to be a short one today. Bungo Stray Dogs, number 6. As we just finished this up. Welcome on through, everyone. It's going to be a short one, keeping you guys up for 3 minutes or so. 3 minutes or so of time. Welcome on through. Buttery, hi. What's up? How you doing? Hope you're doing well. All right, if you want to speak, just make sure to go ahead and raise your hand, and I'll bring you on up. I guess I'll bring up my mod first. They get privilege. Lena.
Hey, privilege. Okay, not a question, just a little reminder, like vocally. Guys, try not to mention anything that like differences between the anime and the light novels or the manga. Please, no. I think I already mentioned it, but just in case, remember, it's Oh, you cannot hear Kim? Oh, sorry. It's in the just a reminder, guys. Okay, just focus on what's in the anime because he wants to experience through that. Okay, so do we understand?
And thank you for that. Yeah, no, for the most part, let's try and keep it to the
Okay.
the
Let me
the
just. I'll put it
anime as
here
much as
in
we
the
can.
chat. Yeah, that's what I put. Yeah, basically. So yeah, sorry, sorry about that. Sorry. So anyway, nice episode again. Sorry, I was like half here, half there. Okay, so I'll step down there so somebody
Alrighty.
has a chance. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye, Lena.
I'll be watching though, so be careful, guys.
Oh, watch out. She's watching. All
Uh-huh.
right. Thank you, Lena. So, wow. Yeah, she's always watching. All right, gotta bring up the other mod. Hold on. Mods get priority. I'm sorry. Hi, Evie.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going. How's it going?
It's going pretty good. Glad that I can finally speak on one of these.
Right? So what'd you think? What what was your suspicions on the bomber and all everything going on in this episode?
Honestly, I was shocked. Like the first time I watched it, I was shocked. And this time around even like I was shocked how quickly you caught on to this. I saw that face that you made and I was like, "Oh no. He sees something. He knows something."
Oh, it was just so sus. Like, you're telling me that 2 of the victims have been in or around your cab, right? And then, like, you look at the pictures and you know that something is just slightly off. Like, I couldn't put you couldn't put everything into it, right?
You had that gleam in your eye though.
Oh, no. You're like, wait a minute. He knows something.
Exactly. I am curious to know though. I don't know if you've answered this question yet or not, but I'm really curious to know who are you like most worried about and least worried about psychologically speaking from what we've seen so far?
Atsushi? In general, I have a feeling that
Fair.
he's gonna be reflecting a lot on that orphanage trauma, right? That's my big thing is like he still has a lot of trauma that he needs to deal with, but least psychologically worried about. I don't know. I think even the Zai might take some hits, so I might go temporarily with Rampo.
I feel like Rampa's a pretty solid choice. He seems like he's got a decent amount of resilience and constitution.
Yeah. So, question for you: did the I know it's not fully fleshed out, but did the autism scores surprise you, or were they kind of aligned with what you thought?
Kunakita, I was not surprised at all. I clocked him right away from when he was like, "We are 3 minutes late to this place. Like, we got to get going, guys. Let's go. We got something to stick to. he is very rigid in his routine.
Right.
It's like, that's not something you see every day.
No, that's a rarity. That's a rarity in of itself. That's why I'm like, ah.
But Ranpo, I mean, like you said, you can have like some 7 tendencies without autism, but
Yeah.
it is very common to see it in autistic people. So it doesn't surprise me one way or the other for him.
Right. Well, that, and then we have to remember that like other factors can influence it as well, like upbringing, culture, you name it, right? You have to remember that like we're diagnosing based off the APA, not necessarily like the Japanese standard for whatever they would consider autism, right? And I highlight this because every culture has a different diagnostic standards for what autism is.
Yeah, and that's kind of why we've updated our DSM in recent times too, is to take those cultural factors into consideration, right?
As much as we can, there's still a lot of work to be done because it's like what the DSM-4 is still labeled. I think it was like homosexuality as a mental health disorder. If you could even believe that, and that was only like less than 10 years ago.
Yeah, we have changed a lot in the last 10 years for sure.
Yeah, that's why I highlight it. I'm like, yo, like there's a lot of nuances and factors that need to be taken into consideration.
Absolutely. And I'm
Anyway.
glad that we're kind of like able to get into that and discuss it a little bit because I
Yeah,
think
a
it's very
little bit.
interesting.
But also, I didn't think this was gonna be a Kunikida like heavy episode. I started off by doing this analysis on Kunikida, like going deep with like, oh, this, and that. I should have waited one more episode, and I would have been a-okay.
Honestly, though.
Buttery asks, what would you like to see most of the changes in the DSM-6? More cultural appropriation, i.e., do you still have a lot of therapists and even psychologists that will put like grief disorders or manic disorders on individuals that are grieving? Because, like, for example, in Mexican culture, grief can last quite a while. And if you ever go to like a funeral or something, like, we're pretty loud, we're pretty like out there. Like we can bring like a band to play and different stuff like that out there, right? But if a therapist or psychologist were to see that, they could go ahead and like label it as like a like grief disorder or depressive disorder, and it's like they don't understand how the culture griefs altogether and how it looks different. So I highlight that because unfortunately it's true with every diagnosis out there that unfortunately not all of them have been kept up to be culturally viable.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yep. Helping you navigate through yeah. No, all of you guys have been amazing. Thank you so much for helping me navigate through Bungo Stray Dogs at the moment. And who knows, I might even be able to jump on tomorrow and do another episode. Or do the following episode. But that's a me thing. Anyway, I don't want to scare the mods.
Oh, you can't scare me that much.
That much. Oh, God. Oh, God. Anyway, Evie, any other questions before I put you down?
I don't think so. It was great talking to you, Ed.
Of course. Thank you, Evie. Appreciate you.
Bye.
Bye. Alrighty, guys. Here we go. We're starting the gauntlet. We're going to start off with Ellie. Hi.
Hey.
Welcome back.
Again.
How you doing? I hope you're doing well.
Yeah, I'm doing well. I hope the same for you.
Yeah, I'm doing well. I mean, it's been a fun stream. We're 3 hours in. We're surviving, which is great.
Yeah, well, to be fair, I think most streams are quite fun, so.
Oh, thank you. So what'd you think of the episode?
So obviously I can't help but compare it to what I've like read, but I'm gonna try and separate that. I don't know, I think maybe like a 7.5.
Ooh.
I
Okay.
liked it. I don't think I have a particular reason for my rating, but if it's like a 7, I see no flaws in it. Like that's minimum. And 0.5, I kind of liked it, yeah.
You kind of liked it. You're like, it's a 7.5. It was aight. Okay.
Yeah.
How quickly did you put it together though that like the cab driver was like, involved in the thing?
Honestly, when I'm watching like anime, if there's like someone driving the car oh, there's a police officer, I'm straight to like suss them. I'm like, you're suspicious. I don't know why.
You're sus just immediately.
Yeah.
Do you do that IRL too? Like if you get in a cab, you're like, you're sus.
No, not in real life.
Oh, that would have been great. Just you the entire time, just mad dogging the cab driver.
Honestly, but I do have a question, and I don't know, like, so say if like any character, you can pick whichever character came to you and kind of told you like kind of what you know about them now, what advice would you give them? Like you can just pick one character, but I'm just curious.
I would probably tell the ginger to wear a collar instead of a choker. Kidding, I'm
Oh
kidding.
wow.
I'm kidding.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
No, honestly, I would probably. Oh, 1 second. Sorry. I would probably. What would I probably do? Because I feel like the Zai is not just like one piece of advice. It would probably be a Tsushi, right? And just like reaffirming that everything's gonna be okay. Because I feel like my poor boy needs a lot of love. He needs a hug,
Yeah,
a
I
head
think he
pat.
needs to hear that, you know.
Yeah. Because I was like, nobody else would really take it seriously if it was just a one encounter meeting. Rampa would be like, what the fuck, whatever. Like, I'm like, like it would be a battle of the Eds again, and that wouldn't be fun.
No, Ranpo, I feel like you've just got to tell him to stop eating so much sweets. Like that can't be good for your teeth.
Just like, stop. Just stop. Oh, what about you? Who would you pick?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think I could give any like solid advice or say anything to any of the characters. I'm just really not good with that. You know, I'd probably make things worse.
You would probably make things worse. Why?
I don't know. I'm just so bad at that. I just make things so awkward.
I was about to say, it's not like you would go in there and be like, purposefully try to damage them, right?
Well, no, of course not. Oh my gosh.
Like if you were to go in there and be like, you're a horrible individual, no one will ever love you, and like re-traumatize poor Sushi, like no.
That's crazy. No, it's just that I would be so awkward. Like they would feel awkward with me, I'd feel awkward with them, and we would just not vibe, you know?
I don't know. I was about to say, I think that like you have a vibe to you that I think like it's endearing. I think it's adorable, Ellie.
Yeah, I no, I tried to put on an act, okay?
You're like, all of this is a mask.
Literally, guys, literally. You guys take tips from me. I'm an expert at this.
Dang. So what made you put on that mask?
I don't know. It's just something that I do, you know? I don't know, yeah, natural.
Is it natural or is it a learned response?
Well, if it's a learned response, I suppose it's natural now. Well, that's kind of how I define natural. Even if it's learned, if it's a habit, it's natural to me.
That's interesting. You see now, and I'm gonna step away from that back onto the characters because now you're getting my brain going here, Ellie.
You know what? Though easy answer, it's totally because I'm autistic. Like,
the easy answer.
yeah, exactly.
Actually, I do wonder. Have you ever done the Radzar?
Huh?
Have you ever done that test, the Radzar test?
No, I haven't. That was like the first time I've actually seen that.
Okay, mods, can you throw it up in the chat here? I'm curious. Like, I'm curious about all of you. What score do you all get?
Well, I might do that later, but you know, I mean, I've been diagnosed with autism. I'm not gonna be like if I score low, I'm not gonna be like, guys, I'm undiagnosing myself with autism. But you
No,
know,
no, of
it's cool.
course,
It's good to do.
of course not. But I'm just curious about like what score in general you would get, and like for everyone.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I was about to say, I know a lot of people, they can score pretty high or pretty low, like just depending. And of course, the minimum threshold again is 65, so that's relatively low.
So is that like a diagnostic tool that's actually used, or is it just one of them things online? Because I was curious when you were doing it. I
So
mean,
it is a diagnostic tool. It's a pre-diagnostic tool used to go ahead and get individuals to even be considered for autism, especially here in the States. It's either that or the CATS Q. There's a couple other tests out there that are used as pre-diagnosis, because oftentimes individuals have learned how to mask, just like you yourself have said, right? As to how to fit into society. So a lot of this is being able to go in and cover. It's like, okay, how much of this is masking before we even continue on with like the more in-depth test.
that's fair enough. Because I was like, I don't know. I feel like when we were doing it, my brain was totally scrambled with them questions. I don't know if it's because the chat was moving really quickly, but there was like, I don't know. It didn't feel like there were many neutral options. Like, what if it's none but all at the same time? I don't know if that makes any sense at all.
No, and unfortunately, a lot of these tests are meant to be confusing. It's the best way I can put it. Because it's meant to go ahead and get you to respond in a certain way, is the best way I can put it. And unfortunately, I hate it as well, because I really do think that there should be more neutral options. But that's, that's up to the test creators and the diagnostic creators, so that they can come up with more.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it is what it is right now. I mean, if it's working right now, so be it. Maybe it'll get better in the future, but yeah.
Yeah. Alrighty, Ellie. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate you. You're the best as always. And I can't wait to hear more about you and your test as soon as it comes out.
Thank you too for having me on. Bye
Of course,
bye.
bye. Oh. Well, that was fun. Y'all are absolutely great. Nikolai. Hello.
Hi,
Hi, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm shaking.
Oh, don't shake too much. I hope you're okay.
I don't. I'm sorry. My brain just malfunctioned.
Oh, well, first off, hi, absolutely adorable. I hope you're doing well today. And
I,
also,
I thank you. I'm good.
what'd you think about the episode?
I loved it. I watched it a few years ago, but I haven't watched it since. So there was a lot of stuff I forgot.
Oh, you haven't watched it in a while? So, okay. Oh, so then I guess follow up. This question I'm going to ask everyone is like, were you able to catch on to the taxi driver?
No, I was not smart at all back then when I first watched
Oh
it.
no. You were just enjoying it for the ride.
I was very oblivious to a lot of stuff.
Wow. But still, anyway, do you have a question for me?
Yeah, is there any characters you want to learn more about their past, like what happened to them in their childhood?
Yes, Rampo and Dazai.
Yeah, I also want to learn about what happened to Dazai.
Yeah, it's like, okay, how did Dazai become Dazai? Because clearly there was a lot that went wrong there.
Yeah.
Or right, depending on how you look at it. So then, who's your favorite
Yeah.
character?
Rompo and another character that hasn't shown up yet.
Another? Whoa, Ginger?
No, but he is awesome.
Oh, cool. So, okay, if you don't mind me asking, what's your favorite season?
Probably season 5.
Ooh, okay, so that means that we're gonna wait like 60 episodes to get to season 5. Oh God.
Specifically episode 6 of season 5. I've rewatched that way too many times.
Whoa, how many times?
I think I've lost count.
You've lost count. Oh. Oh. I'm like, oh, that's me with like Dragon Ball Z. Like I've watched it way too many times. But still, that's exciting. That is very, very interesting. Do you have any ships?
I know that the movie I have watched over 200 times and then I stopped keeping count.
Whoa. So do you know it like close to line by line?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Oh, that's awesome. That is amazing. Wait, which movie? Is it the one what's the name of the movie?
Dead Apple.
Dead Apple. Okay. So now I'm curious because isn't that after season 2? I have to watch it. I think that's what chat was telling me last time.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was after season 2.
Still though, that's exciting. That is awesome. Also, can you tell me about your avatar? It's adorable.
It's a character from a later season.
Oh, okay. We'll keep it that way. We'll keep it that way then.
I also want to say that I really like the ideal scale, and it really helped me a lot more than I can actually explain.
Oh, did it help you
Um,
out? Oh my god, I'm so happy.
I was kind of shocked when you saw my comment in the chat because I rank myself very low because I feel like my disabilities burden others, and I don't want to be like that. But I don't want to rank myself as low as I would rank the people that hurt me. So that really helped me a lot.
I'm so glad. And I think that's the main purpose that I was trying to go and highlight to all of you is like all of you have so much value and we often put ourselves lower than where we should be. Because even as an individual with disabilities, like you probably have so much more to give to the world and I always call my like anybody with the disabilities, like you have a superpower that a lot of us like unfortunately don't have, you know, and like number one, you get to see things through a perspective that unfortunately a lot of society doesn't get to fully perceive, you know, and whether that's, you know, a lot of the issues that you struggle with and you like have to overcome, or your resiliency, or even like you having to be an advocate for yourself at times, that is huge. And I hope you take this to know, like, I am so proud of you, Nikolai, just for being here and also for taking in the ideal scale seriously, because sometimes I throw it up there and I'm like, people probably won't take it seriously, but you did. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it meant a lot to me, so thank you so much.
Oh, I'm gonna give you a Dorito at this point in time. You're great, Nikolai. Here you go, Dorito.
Yay!
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. Any other questions before I drop you back down?
No.
Alrighty. Well, thank you so much. It's a pleasure getting to meet you.
Thank you.
And I hope to see you in a lot of the VCs and discussions that happen like over the period of time.
Oh yeah, 100%. I will definitely be joining a lot more.
Yay! All right, I'm moving you back down. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, they're the best. The best. Ah, okay. Hold on. Who do we? There we go. Hello. Oh, maybe not. Hello. Housekeeping. Oh, I guess Stray doesn't want to come on. Let me just tear up here. Hold on. There you go. Boom. Hello. Oh, there you are. Hi, Stray.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, I thought I was having problems again. I mean, I was in another tab, like just answering the rats art questionnaire for like the millionth time.
For the millionth time.
Yes.
So what score
I
do you
was
usually
halfway
get?
through. Um, I should know that because I mean, as I said, I have answered it so many times, but I forgot.
Oh, no worries.
I forgot my score, which is why I'm doing it again.
Makes sense.
But yeah, but it's always over the threshold. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that I have it, but
The way you say
I
that,
don't
it's
know.
always over the threshold. Ay, ay, ay. Bueno, pues. All right. Do you have any? First off, what'd you think about the episode?
Yeah, I mean, this episode is kind of weaker, on the weaker side for me personally. I think I don't know if it's because it is not like condensed in a single episode, and maybe my attention span is not equipped for that.
Uh-huh.
But I mean, I just don't know how to talk about this because this plot is a little bit changed from the manga and other stuff. But they said that they don't want us to talk about that. So, yeah, I mean, I think they could have handled some of the plots a little bit better. But I like the details. Like, for example, the photos. I didn't notice the photos at all when I first watched this, but I did think that the taxi driver guy was super suspicious because what do you mean that you saw two of the victims? That's such a big coincidence for that to be true.
You're like, that is really sus. Yeah. So, okay,
Yeah.
pregunta, question here. You said that like you felt like the episode should have been condensed. So I guess the best way I can put it is you're like you don't have the attention span for it, but yet you stay around for a 3-hour analysis of the of that same episode. I love you. You're great.
I mean, yeah, I feel like sometimes my needs can be a little bit contradictory, right? Like I want something to be very fast, but then I can also watch like a 12-hour video on nothing that is very special to me, right? So maybe because what we're doing here is an analysis, and I am super into psychological analysis, then I don't get bored at all.
Oh, that's awesome. By the way, I could barely hear you on that one. It sounded like you were far away.
Sorry, I don't know if I'm having problems again because I cannot hear what you are saying.
Oh no. Yeah, you sound super far away. I don't know if it's just me, chat. Yeah. All right, but no worries. If you get it worked out, you're able to fix it. I'll bring you back on. Okay, Star? Trey, I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, sorry, I'm having technical issues.
Yeah, no worries. I'm gonna put you back down, and then if you fix it out, I'll bring you back up. Thank you. All right, moving her back to the audience so they can figure that one out. All right, here we go. Vince! Hi.
Hi. Oh, hello?
Hello.
Hi. Okay. My
Hi.
mic was weird for a second. So we're halfway through the season.
Yes.
Do you have any like specific thoughts for where we're at halfway through season 1 or expectations for how the rest of the season will go?
I'm assuming, and I shouldn't assume because it makes an ass out of out of everyone. I'm assuming that like we have to see Ginger at some point in time. We have to see the lemon guy at some point in time, right? Like I'm looking at all of these things and I'm like, we have 6 episodes to go. And season 1 is always like the season that should set up all these characters for like what may come, right? So I'm assuming that it's gonna be left with a cliffhanger because season 2 has to expand the world out from this microscopic like worldview that we currently have of the characters, and it's enthralling. Don't get me wrong; they're slowly introducing all the world building, but I have a feeling like season 2 is just gonna take it and blow it up out of proportion. So more than likely, season 1's gonna end with like the Port Mafia and the agency really fighting it out. I can definitely see them probably escalating things into the public, getting taking fights onto the streets in any capacity. Like, they'll be at a Starbucks or somewhere drinking, and, TB man will come through and be like, you ordered a venti? My XP bar was low. And, like, do something in that regard, right? Or who knows? They might literally be like, driving being on a bullet train or on their public transport system, and they're like transporting a bunch of like organs or whatever, right? I could totally see like just things getting more and more complicated and out of control, but I do see a revelation leaning towards there's bigger fish to fry. And I feel like this is what it's all leading down towards. It's like, yes, we're dealing with the Port Mafia, but I don't think the Port Mafia is the end all be all. I feel like the Port Mafia is just a small fish in a big pond.
Okay.
Sorry, I got really hyped about that. I don't know why.
No, I was really curious to see like, what you think is going to happen going forward. So, but yeah, it definitely feels like, we're setting things up, getting to know people, because I know you, at the beginning of the stream, you're like, oh, when are we going to start talking about Kunikita? And this is like a very much Kunikita-centered episode and everything. I'm also curious, what do you think of Kunikita and Dazai's partnership at this point in time?
I think, okay, yes, I think they work well together, but I think that their ideals will make them clash eventually. And I feel at times, like, for example, I don't see Dazai being afraid of taking someone's life, like, if need be. But I feel like Kunikita will do anything, and as noted by his fight with TB Man, is like he would rather use a stun gun than shoot him in the face, as opposed to Dazai, who's like, all right, we'll double pistachio together. Like, we'll find some way to get this to work, right? That's why, like, I look at this and I'm like, I feel like their ideals eventually will get them to clash, and that might actually cause a rift between them.
Interesting.
You say interesting, and I'm like, wait, did I hit on something?
No, I'm just like I like those two like their dynamic a lot. So I was very curious on what you thought so far. Now that we're getting into more.
You know what we need to get? We need to get a sushi or a little sushi roll, either like a sibling, like a little brother, little sister, or like a partner. You know, like we need to get our sushi roll a girlfriend, a boyfriend, someone that he can feel grounded to as well. That's just my opinion on sushi. I feel like that would help him out a ton.
Yeah, I agree actually, because just looking where he's come from, he doesn't seem like he's had very close connections with a lot of people growing up, and he's still getting used to people at the agency, so that would definitely be I think beneficial for him to like grow a really strong bond with someone.
Yeah, plus I think it'd be kind of cute. Imagine the people at the agency trying to give him like ideas as to like how to go on a date, or what is normal and not normal behavior, or being a gentleman.
Yeah.
Like that would be so adorable.
Yes. Okay. I don't think I have like any specific questions now that I think about it, like for this episode. So it's like.
So my question is, do you trust the girl that's in the water tank? Because I don't.
That's a question.
That is a question. But that's not an answer.
Question.
I don't trust her. Like I'm sorry, it just sounds weird. Like it felt super duper weird how everything was timed. So it's making me wonder, is she connected to the overall? Well, she has to be connected to the overall plot because the Zai brought her to his house. So I guess the best way I can ask it is she the person that's probably impersonating this Azure person?
We shall see. She hasn't appeared too much yet, other than
Which is
the initial rescue. So
it is so sus. Like she only appears for Dazai to be like, yeah, I took her home. Haha, we saved her. And then his normal voice, like, oh yeah, and then she has anemia, which is why she blacks out. And it's like, that's kind of sus. Anyway, sorry, I don't mean to put you through the ringer, Vince. I always like to ask.
No, you're good. I'm just like, I confirm and deny absolutely nothing.
You know what? Fair. Well, thank you so much, Vince. Do you have any other questions? Let us have you breathing on the side with the ban hammer. They're gonna ban me. Is what's gonna end up happening.
I guess other than the ginger, is there any other characters that you're interested in seeing now that we're getting more into Kunikita?
Other than the ginger and his collar, yeah.
Yeah. Other than the ginger and his collar.
I think I don't know. I feel like I want to see more Rampo, but that's just me. The more Rampo we see, the happier I get. The more I can challenge him on finding solutions, the better it'll be for me.
Yeah.
But aside from him, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say I definitely agree. He's my number 2. I'm always good for more Rampo. So.
But I want to see more dark side of Dazai. I want to see Dazai's history. I want to get so into Dazai that like you guys can't take me out of him, right? I want to go into his brain and just scramble up his brain like a good little soup. Understand his childhood, understand why his parents like didn't give him the love and support that he needed growing up. Understand why he was probably a part of the Port Mafia at an early age and why that just messed up his like whole aspect as to what makes a normal person normal or what makes people operate. Understand why he struggles to go ahead and form healthy relationships. Like I want to go in there and just like absolutely destroy this man and then come back and fix him.
Absolutely. I think a lot of people feel that way about him. He's a very interesting character, in my opinion.
Fair. Yeah, no, he is. He's a very, very good character. But all right, Vince. Well, I'm gonna go to drop you back down. Thank you so much. You're amazing.
Yeah.
You always
good
come
day.
through. Appreciate you. Bye bye. Woo! All right, here we go. Ba-ba-ba-da. Call me, beat me if you want to reach me. Oh God, if I even sing that song, YouTube copyright system instantly activates. All right, I invited you to come through and speak. Good soup. Not the Kim Possible. I love Kim Possible. Honestly, I was so annoying. I went to a Lucha Libre event for my birthday a couple days ago, and I was singing Mucha Lucha the entire time and like doing the sound effects just on purpose, just to annoy the wrestlers there. And like I would do like silly little things because like they were like the bad guys versus the good guys type thing, the heels versus the technicians there, and like they would like hold them up onto the turnbuckle. And I'd be like, you want to be a real bad guy? Give him a kiss. And like the guy was like, hey, yo, from the top rope. Like they're supposed to be a character, and I'm making them break character. And then one of them had so much baby oil on that I'm like, hey, Diddy's calling. Like you he had so much baby oil on that like the other guys kept slipping. And it was just like I had to keep making these jokes because it was Mexican Lucha Libre, and like the whole thing is like you just shout things at them as they're going through. It was great. It was great. It was a grand old time. Plus, I was a little tipsy, so my comments just kept getting more and more absurd, and then it started getting really philosophically deep for these luchadors. And unfortunately, the best way that I can put it is you never ask a person when they're at the top rope getting hit on the chest is this what you envisioned yourself as a child doing? Like at the top rope getting slapped across your chest, and like would younger you be proud of where you are today, and what does that look like for you? Do you think of when you're
Hello.
older? Oh, hi, welcome on through. Sorry, I didn't even know you're
My internet is very bad. Hello, everyone.
but hola, hi, welcome on in.
Hello. I'm not very good at speaking English, so I'm going to try my best.
No worries. What's your native language, if you don't mind me asking?
Spanish.
You can speak in Spanish too, that's fine.
I'm going to do it when I don't know how to say something. I'm going to try for the other people to understand.
Okay, perfect.
I miss most of the stream, so if you have a question, so I can start the conversation.
Well, no, it's just mostly like, who's your favorite character? And I guess like with this, what character are you excited to see or excited for us to go deeper into?
Oh, well, my favorite character is Rampo. He's really cool. We're going to see a lot of about him, I think, and it's very exciting, at least for me, because you're always like in this battle of intelligence. I don't know, it's very funny.
Fighting with Rampel?
Yes. For some reason, it's really a battle. I don't know how that's possible.
It's a real battle. I know. I don't know how this is gonna work.
Oh yes. So far, what will you think is your favorite ability?
there are very cool powers in this series.
Mm-hmm.
And what's been your favorite so far?
I think my favorite power so far is Rampo's power. Just, if I could touch my glasses and analyze like that, I would be amazed.
Mm. I will say a power that you don't have.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
A power that
I
I don't
mean,
have.
yes, because Rampo and you are already there, and in the same level. I think the episode 5 is a proof of that.
The episode 5 is proof of that. No, no. uh, then I think probably the other power would be Kunikita's at the moment, where he's able to write things in his notebook and create whatever he wants out of it. From the looks of it, that looks pretty cool.
I think it's really cool. I mean, if I forgot my key and I just write in my notebook that I got a key and I can enter my house, it will be really cool.
Yeah, that would be amazing. um, I guess for you, right? Which character needs the most therapy so far?
Oh, I, I mean, they all need some serious therapy, I think. But the most, well, I mean, that's why needs therapy, I think.
Yeah, no, Dazai needs a lot of therapy.
Too much. He's going to scare the therapist. I don't know.
Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah, he's very uh interesting, and I think it will be good for him. I also think Atsushi deserves some therapy. He needs to be happy.
Yeah, Atsushi needs a lot of therapy as well. He's a trauma boy. He's been so traumatized. Mm.
Oh yes, Atsushi. I feel bad for him at episode 4 when he was crying. After realizing that the agency was okay. I don't know. I wanted Atsushi to be happy and to realize that in this place he can be himself without feeling bad or sad.
Yeah. So, question for you: when did you first watch Bungo Stray Dogs?
Oh, I think a year ago, something like that.
Wow, so you're newer to the whole fandom.
Oh yes, I'm getting into the fandom right now because I just watch the series. Right now, I'm reading the light novels. I already read the manga, so I'm I'm trying to understand more this
So,
whole universe.
is the manga or the light novel better than the anime?
Oh, they already tell you that these episodes are based on light novel.
Uh huh. Well, like I don't know. We're not going into the light novels themselves, like what happens.
Okay,
But
okay.
I'm just curious if.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Oh, how to say it? I think the manga has a very well oh, bueno, lo diré en español entonces. Creo que el manga tiene una buena manera de representar las emociones de los personajes de una manera más impactante que de lo que lo hace la serie, diría yo.
Oh, that's interesting. See, no, I fully agree with you. I'm going to respond back in English, but I understand 100% everything that you're saying. Because you're able to go, and I know you understand me because we were just speaking in English. So, one of the big things I guess I wanted to ask you with this is because in the light novels, you're able to flesh out all the characters' thoughts, what their emotions, everything that's happening through there, as opposed to like the anime where you only have 22 or 23 minutes to do so. So I can see that, but is it a lot of chapters to read?
A lot of chapters. I think it depends on. the light novel, because there are some light novels that are like a lot of content, and I think there is one that I read that it was really short. I could finish it in one night. I think 2 hours. It was short, but there was another that it was very long. I was reading it like for 2 weeks or something.
Well, that's not bad though. That actually sounds like a healthy routine. Maybe in the future, in the future I'll do like a way in the future I might just pick up a book and start reading it when I have more time, even though I have a lot of time right now. Because that sounds really interesting. That sounds great.
Yes, and they are very great. They help a lot to understand more about the universe, because I think that in the light novels they show more content about the world and some data on the characters, little things that the anime has to skip because of the time.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're not bound by time. So I think that's a even better aspect. But thank you so much. I appreciate you coming on. I'm going to put you back down for a bit here, and I'm going to move on to the next person because we're running out of time on my end, okay?
Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, so done. You're amazing. Alrighty, bye-bye.
Bye.
She's incredible, chat. Incredible. All right, Maria. Maria. Hi.
Hi, damn, I didn't expect to be passed so quickly.
How you doing? Hope you're doing well.
Hi, I'm dying a little bit, but we're fine, we're balling.
Wait,
Yeah,
why you dying? Don't die on me, like.
You know, it actually has to do with the history of how I found out you existed in the first place.
Okay, tell me about it.
You know, I'm Kanat's wife. Yeah.
Okay.
And right now, I'm not majoring, it's an undergrad, but I am technically majoring in psychology as well.
Oh, yay! That's awesome.
Yay! Yeah. And then Ganats, who introduced me to Bungo Stray Dogs, say, "Oh, I just found a psychologist who is reviewing Bungo Stray Dogs. You should watch him." And then I binge watch the whole thing.
Oh God.
And then I proceeded to spam you annoyingly in the chat yesterday. Sorry, not yesterday, like 3 days ago. Sorry about that.
No, you're fine.
Anyway.
You're fine.
Yeah, to say that I'm dying a little bit right now is an understatement, as I have like a bunch of exams, like the final exams to give me the diploma and like the license and stuff.
Oh, isn't
Hopefully,
that exciting?
It is exciting. It's just a lot of pressure though, but we're fine. We're fine. Anyway, hi Ed. How are you doing today?
Hi. I'm doing great. How you doing? It's a pleasure meeting you. But also, how many episodes did you binge? Now I'm kind of worried about you. Like, are you okay?
Yeah, I binge all of them. I binge all of them except the episode of Rampo because I saw it live.
I
think
adore
those are,
you.
12 hours of content.
I absolutely love and adore you. Oh my God, you watched 12 hours of content. Like, here, I'm gonna get you a Dorito, like, immediately. You deserve the highest praise there. That's awesome.
No, it's good. We're balling because, like, you kept me awake. I was paying attention to your comments because it helped me to review most of the concepts that I'm gonna present in my final exam.
Awesome.
So
Well,
it's actually studying.
well, I am so glad. I am so glad that it helped you out, like in your studies. I'm like, it should align because the majority of the themes that like I talk about or I bring in here, like you'll see them in your undergrad and graduate level courses.
Yeah. Okay. Now I do have a question because Konikida is my second favorite character of all time.
Okay.
My question is, Ed,
Mhm.
what do you think the dynamic between Konikida? I don't know if you talked about this in the stream, maybe I don't know. Sorry. What do you think the relationship and the way that they interact with each other and like how do they work together as a team reveals about their own morals and their own psychology of each other, of Dasai and Kunikida.
Oh, did you miss stream today?
Yeah, I missed a stream. I'm sorry.
We did a whole
I'm a fake fan.
We did a whole fake fan spotted. I'm kidding.
I'm gonna ban myself now. I'm dropping. Bye.
No, we did a whole Kunikida analysis in the beginning. We literally went through and filled up the whiteboard with nothing but Kunikida to try and understand them. And ultimately, and we stopped at the very beginning, like the opening, like 2 seconds in, because Kunikida was talking about ideals, right? And I was talking about how ideals and ideals and schedules and all of these things can ultimately like frame you or box you into a specific type of like individual that doesn't allow you to truly be free, while at the same time Desire is sort of that like freedom, like seeker, outbreaker type of individual. So it's two different ideals that oftentimes they interact well from time to time. But I have a feeling, like, here's a question that I have for you, Maria, which is what would happen, because Kunikida is so by the book, what would happen in trying to save everyone if Kunikida tries to save someone but Desire says it's better for that person to die and kills him?
Very interesting. Okay, I'm just gonna say from its own psychology and not basing myself on like the plot. I don't think Kunikida is capable of killing or letting a person die. An innocent person die. That's the emphasis on here.
Yes.
Because
go ahead.
Innocent person dying will break his own being because his own it isn't a spoiler because it is like rooted in this episode. It just gets expanded a little bit later. But I think the reason why Dasai and Kunikida work so well and like responding to your answer to your question, sorry, I'm very nervous.
Don't be nervous, you're doing great.
Is that even though like moving a little bit from psychology to more philosophical terms, I think Kunikida, even though he is rooted in utilitarianism, I think his own humanity and his own sense of duty can't let an innocent person die, even if it affects more people in the end. Even if it isn't the most rational or the most useful answer or the most useful course of action.
Kunikida has a lot of guilt from what he like allowing the other detectives and people to die for doing that call in, right? So he's already dealing with all of that. But you're presupposing here that Kunikida, if it was just Kunikida, he would do anything and everything to keep a person alive, which agreed. But if it was Dazai in with Kunikida and Dazai makes that choice for Kunikida, i.e. taking the aspect of control away from him, would that ruin their partnership?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No. I think the reason why the director in the first Angst potential, yeah. I think the reason in the first place that the director, Sensei? Yeah, the director of the agency put Kunikida and Dasa in the first place is because Kunikida is an idealist, and he is keeping the morals and keeping the sense of duty in the armed agency. But I think Dasai being, I won't say he's cruel, but he has seen a facet of the world much more raw than most of the people that is in the agency. Therefore, I do think that even if Dasai takes that choice of killing a person and Kunikida wouldn't do that, I think their partnership wouldn't break because they inherently know their roles.
So, question for you. Do you ever think that Kunikida would betray Dazai due to his idealism? Because I think so.
Okay. That's a good question, actually. I don't know how to answer that.
That's a good response. Look at you. I was about to say, who trained you as to how to respond this way?
Yeah, I don't. No, it's because it's such a complex matter. Because I know a lot of people say, "Oh, Kaneki is a secondary character. Oh, he isn't important." I disagree with that statement. I think Kunikida is one of the most complex people in the agency, and they don't give him enough credit for that. And therefore, giving you, oh, he will betray, no, he won't betray him. I would really need to evaluate that. It's very complicated. There's so many moving factors because yes, in this episode they established their relationship, right? Their dynamic, their opposing ideals,
Right.
and the role that they play in the agency. But there's so many other moving factors that each character has built upon themselves, which you will discover later.
Sure.
Right now it's just like the baby version, but later you will understand why the characters are this way. Therefore, me answering oh yes or no, I cannot answer that. Yeah.
Now you're
You
making,
will see. Wait and see.
well,
You
now you're
will
making,
wait.
now you're
Wait
making
and
me,
see.
now you're making me wonder, Maria, because now I have a lot of questions.
Yeah, shoot. I will try my best, but you have to remember, my wife kind of only showed me Bungo Sherlock's like 2 years ago. Okay? I'm still even myself evaluating the morals and the psychology behind each character, because that's why I loved your channel so much, because you take gags or you take like the most unserious or like the things that the fandom used to glaze over. Oh, yes, that's like keeps making jokes about suicide. Oh yeah, the Tanisaki brothers are weird because it's just anime. No, you took the time to actually dissect the implications in their psyche, and I love that part.
Which I find interesting or weird that other people don't. It's like, hey guys, it's there for a reason. It's not just there for it to be like, oh, weird gag.
Exactly.
It's like, it's there for a reason. Just look at it.
Exactly. Yeah.
But anyway, Maria, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on. I do got to take you back down because I do have to move on. I only have a couple minutes left because I got to go get food. Apparently, they made enchiladas today. So they're like, hey, your enchiladas are ready. And I'm like, oh God, like I get to go have enchiladas in a bit. Like, let's go.
Bro, no way. I just ate enchiladas. Mi mamá me hizo
¿Y no me
enchiladas.
diste? ¿Qué?
Bueno, pues que es que no es que se me haya olvidado el stream, sino que fuimos a comprar las cosas al Soriana y luego dije, bueno, pues empieza el stream hasta las 6, ¿no? 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 Sí.
Todo tarde.
Soriana Mention. Bueno, ya te dejo para que acabes y comas tus enchiladas. Bye, chat.
Bye, appreciate you. By the way, I do want to go to a Comic-Con someplace in like Latin America. I'm planning on doing one in like or a convention in Mexico, or Latam in general. So if y'all know of any good conventions, let me know, and I'm more than happy to go to it.
Oh wait, there's this convention on North. It's very important, like between Tijuana, like all the northern states. It's located in Monterrey, Nuevo León. It's called La Combe. Like it's not Comic-Con levels because it is relatively small, but it's also like important enough that they invite actors. They invited the actor of like Daredevil.
Oh wow!
On the show of Netflix, yeah, they bring the big guns, and like in October they're gonna bring the actor of Sanji from the One Piece. Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm gonna go.
No, I was about to say that's awesome. Drop the link and we'll see like if we can get a request going, and you know, if anything, I might just find a way to pop on over there. I think that'd be cool. Anyway, bye, Maria. They just muted themselves and dipped. Oh, Maria. Anyway, all right, final one of the night here. I'm gonna give you 3 minutes here. Sorry, that went a little longer than expected here. Sorry, Rose.
Hi.
Hi, welcome on in.
Okay. First question I gotta ask. How did you feel about Atsushi specifically this episode?
You mean like my baby's growing? He's growing so much, like compared to where he originally was. He's growing so much more, and he's like starting to go in and grow as a detective. Like that's huge. That is huge, right? Like first episode to now, it's like yes, he's starting to fit in, and he's finally starting to like normalize it.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god, I'm sorry. I love. I have a complex relationship with this like this episode specifically, but like it's like I love him. Like anime only it's 10 out of 10, so like at least for me.
So question for you: did you catch the cab driver?
When I first watched it, yeah, I was
Let's
like, oh, that's
go.
kind of suspicious. That's kind of suspicious.
That's awesome.
Like as like Ellie said earlier, it's like always like the cab drivers or like policemen that I would typically suspect whenever it's like comes to like missing person cases. So it's like in anime, I guess. So it's like yeah.
I think if you watch a lot of crime shows or whatnot, it kind of preps your brain as well, right? Like, that's a little sus. Like, that's very, very suspicious.
Yeah. I forgot the other question. Either that or they've already been asked, so it's like, yeah.
No worries, it happens. Go ahead.
Yeah. Aside from that, how are your how are your overall feelings on this episode particularly? Like, because like again, I love this episode, like as anime only.
I actually like this episode. I really did. I think that like I don't know what's been missing because again, like that's to the light novel readers and the manga readers out there. Y'all know everything that's missing. I don't. So for me, this is the world of Bungo Stray Dogs, right? So like I like this episode. Like this is a solid episode altogether for me personally, right? I'm sure that there's a lot missing out there and that you guys have like a lot of like context and like maybe plots played out differently or 1,001 other things. But for me, it's like my perspective or my world of the Bungo Stray Dogs universe so far is just the anime only. So I don't know what's been cut, and that's kind of like a blessing and a curse at the same time because it's like some of you guys are like, oh, he doesn't know, and it's like, yes, I don't know. Let's keep it that way. And so we're done with the series, and then you can tell me, well, this played out differently or this happened differently. In that regard.
Okay. One other question is, what would you think like each characters that we've been introduced to so far, what their favorite food would be, at least like, in like if it at least like Western food, I guess.
Western food. Oh, why are you coming with hard questions? Wait, that's just based on like a perception here. Wait a minute.
Actually, I'm trying to see how you perceive the character. Like literally, none of this comes up. It's just I want to know how you perceive them, how you like what would your headcanons be about them?
What would I think about them? Oh, what happened? Oh, okay. Well, I think if anything, well, twofold, right? Twofold. Hold on. If anything, I think Dazai kind of reminds me of a good steak because good and meaty is the best way I can put it. Sushi reminds me of sushi. Kunikita. I don't know. I'm trying to break it down. I'm like, that's kind of hard. That is really hard. Like, how do I think of them as food? I don't know. A casserole? He just reminds me of something like that. I don't know.
I mean, I was gonna ask them what I was asking what their favorite, like, what you think, like, they're like if they had to choose from a menu or whatever, like, what their favorite.
How about I answer your question with the question here, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. When they were younger, what type of anime design do you think that they would have on their bed? Like if they could have like a Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh or anything like that, what do you think that they would have for their like blankie?
I think Atsushi would be very into Pokemon actually. But I definitely see Dazai more as like a trading card kind of person, like specifically like Magic the Gathering kind of like card gathering.
Oh, you see him just collecting magic? That's funny. Like, you know, because he's a collector. Like, that's really funny.
Yeah.
I don't think Atsushi would really. Oh, that's so messed up, Nikolai.
Fortunately, it's true. I think Kunakita would be like the kind of person to actually have like those like math or science backpacks. Like you know, like those like ones with like, all the equations or something on them.
Sure, yeah. I mean, that's fun. That's a fun one. But no, absolutely. Thank you. Any other questions before I drop you down? Because I do gotta head out.
Yeah. No, I don't think so. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you enjoy the show. The rest of the show, though. Bye bye.
Well, I mean, it's going great. And then who knows? Maybe I'll pop in tomorrow and we'll go for the next episode if I have the time.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Enjoy those enchiladas.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. But yes, if I have the time tomorrow, I might go ahead and jump in and do another one. I'm going to go ahead and find out if I do have time tomorrow. And that way we're able to jump on through and take care of it. You know, do the next episode if you guys are up to it, that is. If not, that's okay. I can do Expedition 33. You know, I don't mind. It just depends if people are open to doing the next episode, you know, in that regard. With that being said, everyone, I appreciate each and every single one of you. Please take care of yourselves. Y'all are absolutely amazing. YouTube, I hope you enjoy it. Make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, that horror deal, especially if you like these types of analysis, you know, episodes down in here. Y'all are absolutely amazing. I will be in the Discord. If you guys start your own Discord chat or whatnot, I might pop in from time to time just to say hi, just to tell y'all how my day's going, just to be a silly, goofy guy. Y'all are amazing. Have a good night. Be safe, and I'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.